If you need me, come and see me. I will worry no more. And if you love me, go and tell me. I will worry no more. When you're down and all alone, no, and your lifeboat's a man of war, just call me. I will hear you. I will worry no more. There are those who will always love you. There are those who will let you down. Just listen with eyes wide open. You will know them by their sound. When your dreams no longer flower and your power blooms no more, just call me. I will hear you. I will worry no more. It's a hard road, but pick a card, Lord. What you deal is what you get. I've been cheated, but undefeated. Though I bleed, I am not beaten yet. Over mountains and stormy oceans, give your heart wings and let it soar. And call me, I will hear you. I will worry no more. Just call me, I will hear you. I will worry no more. So I'm going to do this last year, all through last year, and also already this year. I've been touring a song cycle I wrote. Martin mentioned earlier Pete Townsend, and back in 2018, Pete Townsend called me up. Who will get me? And he'd read this book called "And All They Will Call You," which is a quote from a Woody Guthrie song called "Deportees." And the book tells of the Los Gatos air crash in 1948, when 28 Mexican migrant workers were killed when their plane went down while they were being deported back to Mexico. And Woody Guthrie, who was alive at the time, took exception to the fact that they named the 4 American crew who were killed, but they didn't name the deportees, the Mexicans. So this author, Tim Hernandez, took it on himself to try and track families, and he managed to track down a few of the families. And he wrote this book, All They Will Call You. Pete read the book and got in touch with me and said, I think you do a good job with the song cycle. He said, I'll back it, I'll be the executive producer, I'll put the money up and all that stuff. So I started writing the story of deportees, and then lockdown came along, and I ended up writing the life story of Woody Guthrie, like you do. And but we carried on with it, and I wrote the whole thing, and then we went into the studio, into Pete's studio, and with some great players, with Geraint Watkins, somebody now one of the best keyboard players in this country, Marion Fleetwood, and many different outfits, the rhythm section from Fairground Attraction back in the day, and Phil Beer, I'm sure you've heard of Phil, and Pete himself also plays on the album. He said, I think this needs some guitar. And I got nervous. Oh dear. But it turns out what he meant was bass guitar. He was going to play some bass guitar. So you listen to the first track and there's Pete playing bass guitar, which was an extraordinary experience to hear him play. You know how he plays electric guitar. You know, when he plays the bass guitar, pretty much the same. And it's quite extraordinary to hear. And he did this thing, and at the end of it, I said, "Blimey, Pete, that's amazing. He sounded just like John Entwistle." He said, "Bugger off." John Entwistle sounds like me. I taught him everything he knows. So the album is now out. It's called Fire and Dust, and we're touring it around the country with various lineups, and it's available over there. I even have T-shirts. So I'll do the title track. You are the voice, you are the call, you are the word of one and all. You who know a lesson learned in fire upon your heart is burned. You heard the little shoe shine boy, his harp of sorrow, harp of joy, and vowed his song of slavery. You'd make a song of liberty. Is this same God in who you trust? The God of fire, the God of dust. Fire and dust, they drove you west. The poverty of righteousness. He made the peaches on the tree and plucked your mother's mind from thee. At 17, you hit the rails among the fallen and the fair, and the little warrior's working girl, a soldier jerk with songs and curls. Is this same God in who you trust? The God of fire, the God of dust. You sang for those who got no home, so they'll never ride the tracks alone. From Mobile Mac and Denver Fly, you sang the hobo's lullaby. Is this same God in who you trust? The God of fire, the God of dust. Is this same God in who you trust? The God of fire, the God of dust. crying, basically. He was famous for some amazing songs. The Little White Cloud That Cried, Crying in the Rain, famous song. And just to kind of enhance the sort of his act, I suppose, when Johnny performed, he was such an emotional singer that he would actually cry as well. And so he was kind of famous for this. And so I thought, well, she's looking for a man who's not afraid to show his emotions. You know, maybe she just knew somebody called Johnny Ray, but there would be no songs. So I wrote this song. She leans in the doorway, tears stream down her face, watching the highway lights. And the man who upset her, well, she knows he'll forget her, and those all too few and tender nights. And the guard on the beat crosses over the street, and he asks her if she is okay. She says, I'm tired of hard men with walls all around them, and I'm looking for Johnny Ray. He asks her for coffee, she says, you mean coffee. He smiles and he points down the street. Soft moonlight glistens, sad-eyed she listens. Did she just hear her heart skip a beat? He sit over coffee, he talks to her softly in a strong and a vulnerable way. She looks in his eyes, she thinks that's some disguise. I was looking for Johnny Ray, looking for Johnny Ray. All I want is a guy who's not too tough to cry, who'll stay up when the nights are too long. If he wants to play hero, let him be like De Niro, not scared to own up when he's wrong. They walked home in the rain, and he sang that refrain she'd heard Johnny sing so many times. They stand on the step, she was tired of regret, so she kissed him and asked him inside. They put Look Homeward Angel on her worn out dance set, and they danced all the darkness away. She looked in his eyes, and when he asked her why, she said, I'm looking for Johnny Ray, looking for Johnny Ray, looking for Johnny Ray. jealous of the sun upon your face that wraps itself around you in your state of grace. I'm jealous of its fingers on your skin, the way it lights your room. Now you won't let me in. I wish I was the sun. I wish I was the sun. I wish I was the sun that lights your life. I'm jealous of the rain upon your lips, runs down your shirt and stings your fingertips. I'm jealous of the way it soothes your brow, the way it cools the places I can't go now. I wish I was the rain. I wish I was the rain. I wish I was the rain upon your face. Jealous of the moon that lights your eyes, falls upon your bed and runs along your thighs. Jealous of the secrets that you share up in your bedroom. Now I can't go there. I wish I was the moon. I wish I was the moon. I wish I was the moon upon your night. I wish I was the moon. I wish I was the rain. I wish I was the sun that lights your life. In 1968, when 58 trawlermen lost their lives in 3 consecutive sinkings, and this prompted a local woman called Lillian Belocca, known locally as Big Lil. Very good reason if you go look her up on the internet. Formidable woman, and she decided that this was enough, and up to that point 6,000 trawlermen had lost their lives from the city of Hull. So she decided that they should get something done, and she got her mates together, and the 4 of them put on their finest headscarves, and they set off for Parliament. And for this reason they became known as the Headscarf Revolutionaries. And what they achieved was 50 new regulations that were long overdue, and became known as the greatest act of civil disobedience of the 20th century, and but very successful. And one of the regulations she got passed was that the ships should not go out without a radio operator. And on a sailing day, Lil would actually go down to the docks, and I'm sure you know where we are, that all the many superstitions about the trawling industry, about the boats and the water and so on. And one of which is that no women were allowed on the boats at all. And Lil would go down and she'd call up to the boys on the deck, "Do you have a radio operator on board?" And if the answer was no, she'd climb onto the ship, at which point men would actually jump off rather than be on the ship with a woman. So the women worked the fish houses, those who worked, and they called themselves the fish house women. And so you'd have to suspend your disbelief for a moment while I sing "I Am a Fish House Woman." I am a fish house woman. My husband works away. He's a decky on the trawlers, and I work a 9-hour day. My knife is sharp and canny, some say just like my tongue. My other was a skinner, till the freezing took her long. In our apron whites like angels, 6 girls to every table. We slice the silver darlings as long as we are able. I lay the kits so pretty, each 2 pounds and a dozen. Warm water in a bucket to keep our hands from frozen. Cut 'em quick, cut 'em clean, keep 'em safe, keep 'em dry. We are born on Hazel Road, and upon the ice we die. You'll never get me trawling, not for 1,000 pounds. But our menfolk risk their foolish lives as another boat goes down, while they're fighting for their families. We're fighting for their rights, and the good Lord and the company to keep 'em safe tonight. Cut 'em quick, cut 'em clean, keep 'em safe, keep 'em dry. We are born on Hazel Road, and upon the ice we die. With a warm coat wrapped around me to keep our hearts from shaking, and a fellowship of sisters to keep our hearts from breaking. I am a fish house woman. My husband works away for 3 weeks on the trawlers, and I work a 9-hour day. Sing it with me. Cut 'em quick, cut 'em clean, keep 'em safe, keep 'em dry. We are born on Hazel Road, and upon the ice we die. Cut 'em quick, cut 'em clean, keep 'em safe, keep 'em dry. We are born on Hazel Road, and upon the ice we die. I am a fish house woman. My husband works away. Thank you. Woman combed the yellow hair, fixed the dress find her in the hotel room. Maria turns the bed to change the sheets. Suddenly a flash of light leaps up from in between the linen folds. Maria slides her hand along the sheets still warm and finds the fool's gold. She steps up to the window just in time to watch the woman drive away. A cell phone rings, a boyfriend calls to say the factory had no work today. She slips a ring upon her finger, thinks my hands are starting to look old. But still there's something beautiful about the hand that wears the fool's gold. Fool's gold, fool's gold, the hand that wears the fool's gold. The woman sits with yellow hair, her husband asks her, where's your wedding ring? Must have lost it washing up. You know you can't trust me with anything. Across town on a liar's ring, Maria swears to honor and to hold. Bound to him by poverty and promises and the fool's gold. Fool's gold, fool's gold, promises and fool's gold. A few years ago now, I was working with a guy called Hank Langford, and he was an English country singer. Well, he still is. Sorry, sorry, Hank. Don't quote me. He's an English country singer, and at the time he had a new album out, and the album was called Best Foot Forward, and the cover of the album was a portrait of Hank, a proper painted portrait. And there was Hank in his cowboy gear, in his cowboy shirt, his cowboy trousers, cowboy boots, cowboy hat, sat on a horse, playing the ukulele up in the mountains, like you do. And I thought, this is a great on-the-road image. So I photoshopped myself onto the back of the horse, in a nice red cowboy shirt, playing a banjo. And we showed this to the artist who painted the original portrait. He said, I like that. He said, I'll paint you a banner. We haven't got one here, but you know a lot of folk clubs, they have banners. And so I'll paint you this banner, I'll paint it on canvas so you can roll it up, go in the car, and then wherever you go in Britain, you can hang your banner, you know, because a lot of places we played, village halls mostly, didn't have stages, so you'd have to create your own stage. And we had this banner, and now for some reason, I still don't know why, the artist hadn't painted a head on the horse. There's nothing visceral about it, it just didn't have a head. Maybe he wasn't very good at drawing horses' heads. I just couldn't do one. So for that reason, I thought we'd call our tour Hank and Reg Head Off. Thank you very much, I'm here all week. And so he painted this kind of cartoon version of the thing. And we set off. And we had, in that first year, I think we had over 250 gigs or something in village halls. It was amazing. We started out in Cornwall, and our first gig was in a place called Constantine. And the next night, we were playing just 3 miles down the road in a village called Gweek. And it very quickly became evident that the local aspect of this rural touring business that we were involved in. And so we said to the people of Constantine, if you have any mates down in Gweek, do let them know, because there's a few seats left. And this audible hush crept through the room. The voice said, we don't go down there. They eat their babies. We got down there and thought they might, you know. So we got out there fast. We worked our way up the country through Cornwall, up through Devon, and played in Exmoor. We did a wonderful concert in a place in Exmoor called Luckham. Is anybody from Luckham? I asked that question a while back, and I said no, but I knew an old lady from Luckham. You're doing it, aren't you? I can't tell you my version, it's far too weird. Luckham Village Hall was a tiny, tiny little place, and we drove past it 3 times. We thought, can't possibly be it. You know, that's clearly a public toilet. They know who we are. But we got in, and it was, sure enough, Luckham Village Hall, tiny, tiny place. And so we went in, we took our sound system in, took it back out again, and we needed that. And we were whiling away the afternoon, and this typical Exmoor farmer comes in. He's got his wellies and his tweeds and his big cap on. He said, good afternoon. He said, good afternoon, and he disappears through a side door, and after a moment, we hear a chain flush. Luckham Village Hall was a public toilet. So that night we played to a full house. It was heaving. And afterwards we were celebrating with a glass of wine, you know, on big in Luckham tour. And the promoter comes over and he sheepishly announces that Luckham Village Hall holds 25. And we got 22. So we had to face the fact we'd reached a point in our careers where we were playing a public toilet on Exmoor. But rather than mourn this fact, we decided to celebrate. We changed the name of our tour to No Hall Too Small. The very last gig we did was in a village just south of Doncaster, called Epworth. You know Epworth, yeah? Not that far from here. Epworth. Epworth Folk Club, yeah, we played that. I think we played Epworth Village Hall anyway. John Wesley, isn't it? And, Epworth, and that night, Saturday night, we had a packed house, and we were celebrating the next day. We decided we'd go off and find breakfast, buy ourselves breakfast. And the only place we could find open was Morrison's Cafe. I can't recommend it at all. And we were sitting there with our breakfast, and this person, who to this day I don't know what gender this person was, but I'm going to say she, because she was wearing an Elvis Presley wig, wrap-around Elvis glasses, a showbiz fur coat, not any old fur coat, a proper rock and roll fur coat, and then nothing on her legs but some Argyle socks and some Winklepicker shoes. It was the legs that made me think she might be female, or a postman. She comes in, and I said, hey, look, it's Elvis. He's alive and in drag and having lunch in Morrison's Cafe. And Hank's taking pictures under the table. And then this other character appears who's clearly with Elvis. And he's got kind of a corduroy suit on and a corduroy cap. And he looked very much to me like Phil Oakes, the contemporary of Bob Dylan's 1960s political activist, singer-songwriter. He's got a little goatee beard, and he's probably about the age Phil would have been had he not died in the 70s. And he came over, and I said, Hank, it's Phil Oakes, he's alive, and having lunch with Elvis in Morrison's Cafe. And Hank's taking pictures. There is photographic evidence of this, but sadly me and Hank fell out after that, so I've never seen them. But there are pictures. And so I just carried this title around in my head for quite a long time. And eventually I wrote it down. And my guitar is going a bit jazz. Not surprising, is it? It's amazing. I like the signs on the door. Louth Jazz Club. Louth Folk Club. Fight! So this is a song. It does have a chorus. If you're familiar with Phil's oeuvre, you'll know that his big hit was "There But for Fortune." Sadly, not for Phil, but for Joan Baez. So when I get to that point, what follows is the chorus. So do pay attention, and we'll all sing the chorus together, or we'll have a staring competition. When she came and sat behind me, I knew something wasn't right. The dye had washed out of her hair, her face was pale and white, and the legs she shambled in on, beneath her shabby dress, were wearing alligator shoes and socks from M&S. A man sat down beside her, he looked familiar too, like a Greenwich Village poet, circa 1962. Dressed from head to toe in corduroy, wayfarers on his head, ignoring one another just like both of them were dead. They're but for fortune and common sense, they say. Phillips and Elvis eating lunch in Morrison's cafe. Okay? They're but for fortune and common sense, they say. Phillips and Elvis eating lunch in Morrison's cafe. In her wrap-around dark glasses, with the light adjusting lens, she was hiding more than tired eyes from onlookers and friends. There was something in those fingers that worked the forks and knives, as if they'd once worked magic in other people's lives. They're but for fortune and common sense, they say. Phillips and Elvis eating lunch in Morrison's cafe. I tried to move in closer. There was a smell of Vaseline and the scent of faded legends just off the M18. For a moment life seemed simple, fear and pain were swept away. When Phil and Elvis ate their lunch in Morrison's cafe. They're but for fortune and common sense, they say. Phillips and Elvis eating lunch in Morrison's cafe. They're but for fortune and common sense, they say. Phillips and Elvis eating lunch in Morrison's cafe. Since my baby left me, I found somewhere else to stay. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. I believe in dignity, rich or poor, we're all born free. Austerity and slavery, I thought they were behind us. I don't believe the BBC, anarchy or monarchy, or an empire built on piracy. By our history you'll find us. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day. bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. For years our women had no say, no right to work or equal pay. God help the crippled and the gay, the fragile flowers of England. Shut the factories, shut the mines, punish those bad on bad times, while they honor them who do the crimes, the greedy men of England. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. How can a man respect a man who sells his house and steals his land and takes the wages from his hand to pay his own expenses? The NHS, our England's jewel, is bartered by Westminster's fool to justify his public school and military defences. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. Sing the songs of old John Bull, Cecil Sharp and John and Paul. Come English folk, come one and all, to the sweet songs of our England. Take my hand and walk with me down the back roads to the sea, where in spite of all we'll both agree. There is none so sweet as England. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. Thank you very much.